his pocket. Lloyd McGuffin in his 5th season at Huntington High, and he's got 2 straight AAA state championships. So we're set for the tip-off. MSAC Championship game just about underway. Glad you're with us, everybody. As expected, Patterson gets the tip, and Capital's going to come out in a pretty tight man-to-man defense. Jamal Williams is number 1. There's the look inside to Patterson for the easy 2.
Well, he did a good job of just catching and scoring. Didn't try to gather himself a dunk for the Thunder dunk early. Just get the points, score the basket. That's what he did.
Well, that's where they may have a little bit of a matchup problem, as most high school teams do against the 6'9 Patterson. He's tough to stop in there.
And one of the keys early for Mayo as well is to try and not to do too much too early also. Keith, he hadn't played for a while. He might be too eager just to try to work the kinks out, make something happen. They need to let him get in the flow of the game also.
Good penetration by Charles Leonard. He ties it at 2 apiece. Patterson again with a clear lane, and he's got Huntington High's first 4 points.
Well, it looks like the game plan as it was against Scott County in their win last week also. Make sure the big guy is happy. Make sure he gets some touches. He's had a couple early.
Got to feed the big guy. This is Charles Leonard, a senior. Averages about 4 points a game. 22 is Rio Berkeley. He's another good scorer for the Cougars. They go inside, and Huntington High comes up with it. Jump ball is called. It'll be Capital basketball.
Jump ball possession to Capital.
Tyrone Gord basically tying up Bruce Senior, Frank.
A good hustle there by Gord. He was frustrated. He let the ball go through his legs and caused the turnover, but he didn't foul out of frustration. He went and got it back, tied it up.
Malik Witt will trigger it in. Again, he had 32 in that earlier meeting against Huntington High.
Charles Leonard with the ball here, number 10, I thought came off the bench the last time these 2 teams played, and played very well in that game for Capital.
There's a steal, then a steal back. Mayo got it, and Tyrone Gord takes it in strong. Jumps on it. The Cougars content to keep the pace going here.
Tried to push it too fast. There's a nice block by Mayo.
Here come the Highlanders on the run. Alley-oop to Mayo, can't handle it, and almost got it to go.
Well, that was a very acrobatic, tough catch with one hand. That would have been almost an impossible shot.
Right now, Jamal Williams is on Malik Witt.
When we talk about Keith, let's face it, people come to see the show when you see O.J. Mayo play a little bit, and that would have been showtime.
Yeah, that was really close.
Even his misses are kind of fun to watch.
There's just a pass that goes right into Bruce Senior's hands, and Mayo on the run out. He's fouled from behind. 22, Rio Berkeley is called for the foul. Actually, that's on Malik Witt. That's his first foul. You got to wonder how long it'll take him to get his game legs back, and you know, practice shape is different than game shape, Frank.
Well, it looks like he is trying to let the game come to him a little bit. Huntington High doing the same thing. They've gone inside to Patterson on their first couple of possessions when they scored baskets. Now we'll see if they go back to the big guy. Yeah.
Patterson tried to throw it down. A good defense inside as Glenn Whitestone has checked in.
Kind of patting himself on the chest there, saying, I probably should have played that a little differently. Maybe gone up with 2 hands and try to grab it and then go back up as he did his first possession.
Check that. That was Tyrone Gord on the stop. Jamal Williams from just inside the free throw line, his first bucket.
Lost art, the mid-range jumper. He has all the shots in his repertoire.
Witt's first shot of the game, an air ball, and Patterson corrals it.
Not a good shot for Witten that time. Tried to force that a little bit, maybe draw the foul.
Bruce Senior drawing the double team. He steps through it. It's tied up. It'll be Huntington basketball. But, you know, I talked with assistant coach Ronnie Hess today, and he said, you know, Mayo probably would come out and try to get the ball to his teammates and get into the flow.
Well, you don't want to try and do too much when you've been sitting for 2 or 3 games, which extends over a week at a time. It does take you a while to get into the flow of the game.
Michael Taylor got a good look. Patrick Patterson right there, and the slam dunk. And so Patterson asserting himself early.
It's not just the finish, the dunk there, which is just too strong to stop. It's the way he went and got the rebound as well. Watch how well, you don't see it. He kept Witten away from the basketball, and then Patterson able to chase it down, then finish with the flush.
He converts a three-point play, and he's got 7 of Huntington's 9 points. So off to a good start. He did not see much time in that earlier game because of foul trouble, had only 5 points against the Cougars.
He's become such a dominating player, and with that first game, with all the focus on the O.J. Mayo situation, you forget Patterson was in foul trouble, didn't see a lot of time, as you mentioned also, Pete.
Leonard tries to get it, can't, and good rebound by Bruce Sr., who unloads it to O.J. Mayo. A little too high for Jamal Williams. Now, he can jump, but he can't jump that high.
And that might have worked to Patterson, and as you mentioned, Williams could jump, but that was a little bit too much of a floater. But you see what Huntington's doing, though. Once they get the ball off the board, they want the up-tempo game as much as possible. They're going to force it as they do with everyone else. Even though Capital is an athletic team, it's so tough to run with Huntington High.
So many people to account for, too, Frank. It's Malik Williams still on the junior star. There's Leonard inside.
Well, that's why Capital, they have to be efficient with the basketball and get good shots, not try to be in such a hurry that they force bad shots. Without Green inside, that takes away one of your post opportunities as well.
Dominique Green is a pretty good scorer for the Cougars. 8 points a game, but he's...
Well, the big thing, too, he gives them size to match up in the post to some degree with Patterson.
Gord on the follow. How about that? So Tyrone Gord all by his lonesome under the glass.
It's a good start for Tyrone Gord. He's had a couple steals. He's been active. Now he scores inside.
Averages 10 points a game. Also just a junior.
But this is a young Capital team. I mean, this year, you know, Capital is in the thick of things, been one of the top 2 teams in the state all year. But next year, Keith, might be their year.
I asked Coach Clark if he thought they maybe were peaking just a little bit early, and he said he thought that, yeah, they kind of came together nicely early.
Well, and Keith, in any other year, without such a talented team of stars as Huntington, we might be talking about Capital.
Oh, Patterson again, a forceful dunk.
And we might be talking about the Cougars as the team to beat in most normal years.
And certainly next year, with all these players graduating from Huntington High, the Cougars got to be the odds-on favorite #1 coming into next season. There's a little floater up and shooter's roll. No. Michael Taylor and company still content to run it. 5-point lead. Jamal Williams loses it out of bounds, but it'll be Huntington basketball. 3:12 to go in the first quarter. Patrick Patterson with an explosive start. 9 of Huntington's first 11 points. They lead it over the Cougars by 5.
It's a 6-day President's Day sale, now through Tuesday. From the new center of Charleston, Huntington, Zero APR is back for a very limited time. Get sale prices on over 200 Saturns, plus Zero APR for up to 60 months. Now through Tuesday only, every new Saturn bears the mark of zero, including the all-new Saturn Aura, the North American car of the year, beating Camry and Accord. Starting at $21,270 with Zero APR. This sale absolutely ends Tuesday at Center of Charleston, Huntington, I-64 and exit 34.
How are you feeling tonight? I'm thrilled. Cheesy Bites are back. Tony, fire up the limo!
Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza is back. No pizza is more irresistible with 28 poppable Cheesy Bites. Get a large one-topping pizza for just $11.99.
Cheesy Bites, my one true love.
Want more fun? Get America's favorite pizza. Pizza Hut
has been the go-to guy virtually every time down floor. He's got 9 points already, Frank. We knew that would be a matchup problem for the Cougars coming in.
The ball looks like an orange in his hand.
Yeah.
You see how he caught that and just forcefully with the dunk. He's a tough matchup for anybody in the country, and certainly here in high school basketball. How do you handle him? How do you stop him? I mean, and he no longer is stopping himself. His game is becoming so complete in every aspect. He gets better every week.
Highlanders again by 5. O.J. Mayo is yet to score. Yet to take a shot.
The other thing you like about Patterson, Keith, this is a good passing big guy. Very unselfish player, almost to a fault.
O.J. Mayo's first shot of the game is a three-pointer. Didn't take him long to recover, huh?
Well, he shows you that great range. I mean, he gets up with such great elevation on his jumper. He can back out, take it very deep, and now they force the turnover.
Again, his first game since the Scott County loss in Lexington. That was back on February 2nd, and an offensive foul on Michael Taylor, who used that off arm.
Good call. I was just about to say, Leonard doing a nice job, really, in bothering Taylor, just trying to pressure him, slow him down. He did that the last time these two teams played. Doesn't look to score a whole lot, but can really bother you defensively. Nice job there, and Taylor called for the foul. That was a good call.
Well, Carl Clark talked about, everybody knows Patterson and Mayo and Williams. He likes what Michael Taylor does for this team, getting them their offensive sets and working the fast breaks and the opportunities. Gord again spots up. Tyrone Gord has been the hot man for Capital.
A nice move with the ball fake to get around O.J. Mayo that time. Once he did that, was able to free himself for a good jumper.
6 points for Gord already. Jamal Williams on the three. Count it.
Wow, that is textbook. That's a textbook shot.
Mayo, good dish into Patterson. Good and the foul.
Well, a great job by all the stars on that one. Mayo just kind of baited the trap that time. He knew the pass was coming, making the steal, and then Patterson, once he made the catch in traffic, didn't force a off-balance dunk attempt, went up and scored and drew the foul.
There you see his season averages. He's nearly at 17 already. He's got 12 of Huntington's 19 points. Make that 13 of 20 now as Huntington out to its biggest lead.
Every coach in America kind of drooling over Patrick Patterson. I mean, you have...
Well, he's considered the best player in America who hasn't committed to a college.
So you go talk to any coaching staff in the country and ask them if they would take him tomorrow, and they would certainly tell you yes.
There's a look inside for Gord, and the pass was a little too low for Tyrone. There's Carl Clark, back-to-back state championships in 01 and 02, so he knows what it's like to get to the big show.
Some pretty elite athletes on that team as well. Darian Scott, who played football at Ohio State, is an outstanding basketball player there.
Foul on Charles Leonard. Make sure you go to WSAZ.com to vote for the Subway Player of the Game and register to win 4 foot-long subs. Brought to you by Subway. Eat fresh.
You know, back before Capital was formed, here's a steal by Capital. Charleston and Stonewall had a ton of state championship caliber teams, and Carl Clark involved with those teams.
Great teams back then. They had some great battles with Huntington over the years. The three comes up short, but stuck back in there nicely. And Tyrone Gord has 8 for Capital.
Well, I like the way Gord is playing. He is really competing here.
Good pass from Michael Taylor into Bruce Sr. for Senior's first bucket of the game.
Senior just kind of hangs around and takes what he can get. Always in the right position at the right time. Very smart player. Capital needs to get Malik Witten going a little bit. He's struggling with his outside shot. They need to get him a layup. He's trying to run something, get him an easy basket.
There's a steal by Mayo. Forget about this. 5 points for Mayo now as the lead is 14.
And again, it starts with his defense. We talk about his ability to shoot, score, and pass, but his defense is so impressive out on the perimeter.
And Huntington has begun to trap, and that's causing Capital some problems, Frank.
And they are in the flow of the game now, and in it more defensively than offensively. It's their defense that's leading to basket opportunities.
Nick Arthur checks in for Capital as Kenneth Booth goes to the bench. Also in is Terrence Reeves, number 42. So Clark going to get some guys in and give his stars a rest just before the end of the quarter. Mayo tries to split the double team. Nice job by Capital on defense. Here's Witten on the run. Tries to get Patterson in the air. His first bucket. Mayo's back by himself. Oh. So you got to get back, and you talked about that. You can't celebrate a made basket with this team.
No, you cannot, especially with O.J. Mayo's explosiveness.
Look at Michael Taylor keep it alive with 1 second to go. So an energetic first quarter by the Huntington Highlanders. They lead it by 14 over the Capital Cougars. Frank, you said defense gets you started. It's what's gotten the Highlanders going here early on.
Think for a moment. You don't think twice about having your eyes tested, but what about your hearing? I'm Marcia Mattingly. At Beltone, we've helped thousands of people lead richer, fuller lives by showing them that they can hear the way they should. At Beltone, a simple hearing test can determine if you need hearing help. I invite you to call Beltone's friendly staff for a quick and painless hearing test at one of our convenient locations. Call now for your free hearing test. You have everything to gain. We're Beltone, the most trusted name in hearing aids.
Enjoy the great outdoors in a new boat from the Great Outdoors Marine and Sports Shop in La Valette. With over 100 new boats in stock, we offer a variety of boats, from john boats to bass boats to runabouts to pontoons. This is the best time ever to buy, with great deals on all boats, like a Sweetwater pontoon or Bayliner runabout, as low as $135 per month. Our goal at the Great Outdoors is to attain the highest level of customer service and complete customer satisfaction. Great deals, great service, the Great Outdoors.
Welcome back to the MSAC Championship game, beginning of the second quarter. Huntington has jumped out quickly, 26-12 behind Patrick Patterson. Tyrone Gourd has been the man for the Capital Cougars.
Yeah, Patterson got Huntington started with the quick buckets early inside. Now O.J. Mayo's in the flow. Capital playing a lot of different people here early. Again, they're a little shorthanded with Dominic Green not playing.
There's another near steal by O.J. Mayo, who already has 3, averages nearly 4 a game. And that's, again, people think, oh, he scores 30 a game. You got to think of the intangibles that he does.
Right now, Capital going deep into their bench with Arthur and Britton on the floor. It's a pretty tough assignment to come in deep into your bench against one of the top 3 or 4 high school basketball teams in the country, maybe the best.
There's Malik Witten, who just hit the bucket before the last Huntington High steal.
I think it's so tough to get into your offense, your half-court offense, because they challenge every pass.
Penetration inside. Bruce Sr. there to disrupt it. Here comes Mayo now. Going to pull up for 3. No. Kicks it out to Jamal Williams. Too strong. Malik Witten the other way now. Oh, nice spin move. Couldn't finish. Still couldn't finish. And Sr. has it. Bruce Sr. rips it down. Witten with a great job of getting open. But boy, when you go 360 like that, hard to figure out your bearings.
It's a great play by Witten defensively, ball handling, getting the open shot in traffic. He had Michael Taylor was very pesky around him. He got the great shot, just couldn't get it to fall.
Chris Early has checked into the ball game. Jamal Williams going to take a seat.
Capital trying to pressure Taylor. Leonard was playing him earlier defensively, just trying to slow him down, really not looking for the steal as much as trying to slow him down, and now Arthur trying to do the same thing.
Coach Clark realizing he's got some fouls to give with these guys, so, why not harass them a little bit up the floor?
One guy he does not want to see get in foul trouble, obviously, is number 14, Malik Witten.
Rio Berkeley getting set to check back in for Capital. Nice pass into Senior. Senior too strong.
A nice rebound there by Witten, coming from behind Patterson to get position. Tough defensive rebound.
Credit Arthur. I thought he bothered Taylor a little bit on that defensive sequence. There's a left-handed shot. Terrence Reeves fouled on the way up by Chris Early.
Well, like I said, the biggest problem Capitals had just getting into the offense, even that shot, challenge, contested shot. Huntington's just so quick on the wings and so big in the perimeter. They give you so many problems being comfortable in your half-court set.
First foul on Chris Early. Reeves short on the free throw, and a couple of substitutions. Brandon Hutchinson is in for Huntington High, and as we mentioned, Berkeley checks in and relieves Vincent Britton.
Carl Clark over there, he knows his team has to take advantage of these free chances when they have them. There aren't that many open looks when they hit your free throws.
Well, they shot very poorly from the free throw line the last time out. And we've got a timeout as Clyde Armstrong also checks in for the Capital Cougars. Lead is 13.
Mentioned Brandon Hutchison coming in for Huntington High. This team, even with their starting 5 and their main 6 players, they're starting to develop a little bit of depth as well. Hutchinson gave his team a nice lift against Scott County playing with a lot of confidence right now. And you mentioned a guy like Chris Early, when he comes in off the bench, this is the guy that won the Slam Dunk Championship here earlier today at the MSAC Day of Champions. You have so many weapons that can come off the bench with, guys who understand their roles. Not only can they play the game, but they understand the game.
Make sure you go to WSAZ.com to vote for the Subway Player of the Game. You can register to win 4 foot-long subs. Brought to you by Subway. Eat fresh.
You know, we saw the competitive game the last time these two teams played on January 26th here in Charleston. Playing again here in this championship game. And keep in mind, Keith, no matter what happens here, this may not be the last time they see each other.
Yes. Clearly, these two teams have been 1-2 all season long.
The state tournament coming up in March, to me, is going to be one of the more star-studded state tournaments that we've had in quite some time.
There's a little bit of that feel in these 2 games with Capital here in Charleston, as the fans realize they get to see. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity with this kind of talent.
Well, these have been state tournament, state championship type games. The 2 schools' girls teams played the same type of game earlier today as well also.
Capital brings some pressure and they turn it over. Whip now going up high. He's fouled on the way up. I believe that one will be called on Huntington High guard Brandon Hutchinson, his first.
Drive by Witten, trying to get some contact here. He's bigger than Hutchinson, trying to get inside. Patterson was there to provide some help. Yeah, earlier today, the Capital girls beat the Huntington girls by 1 in a state championship caliber girls game that if they play that again in a few weeks, you would be very happy with.
It's a great game as Malik Witten converts the first. He's got 3 now. Brandon Hutchinson did a great job defensively
Again,
against the Scott County star. Now he's got Malik Witten.
I said earlier, I think he's a very overlooked player in the state, just a junior. There are stars in the state this year, and Malik Witten's kind of gotten lost in the shuffle, but he's a very overlooked player. Certainly a good 2-sport athlete, and there he is again.
Another turnover. This time O.J. Mayo whistled for the foul, and Lloyd McGuffin going to bring his 2 starting guards back in. That pressure has made a difference for Capital.
I'm not sure there's a more valuable 2-sport athlete than Malik Witten, at least at the AAA level. I mean, he quarterbacked his football team at Capital, very valuable there. Certainly the leader of this basketball team, even as just a junior.
He's a D1 athlete at the collegiate level, and Coach Clark and I were talking today, and he says, it depends what he wants to do, whether he wants to play basketball or football.
His father was a great athlete at Stonewall Jackson when Don Stover and Carl Clark were there, played on some state championship caliber teams there as well. Went on to play collegiately at Marshall and West Virginia State.
So a 14-point lead has been cut by the Capital Cougars, now 11. So pressure is...
I like what they're doing here. They're trying to be patient. They're down 11, but they're trying to stay in their game plan, make sure they get the right players taking good shots.
A little floater by Malik Witten, and there's a jump ball. Huntington High will keep it. O.J. Mayo pleading his case saying he had the ball. They get it anyway.
Zone pressure now by Capital, trying to give Huntington some different looks. Tough to slow this team down.
Mayo with the little jump hook. O.J. Mayo gets it to go.
It's just great passing, too. Good entry pass by Hutchinson into Patterson. Sometimes it's the pass before the pass that keeps things going. And then Patterson, tremendous post passer.
There's a steal. Hutchinson with it now, ahead to Michael Taylor. Taylor leaves it for Williams. And Williams lays it in, and he's fouled. Rio Berkeley on the way up, and ill-advised foul because Williams had already shot the basketball.
Well, Mayo went flying by. Watch Mayo go flying by here. Williams almost has to give him a head fake, afraid he might block his shot. I think O.J. thought the pass was going to come up with a possible slam. Williams almost had to wait for his teammate to go by to shoot the basketball.
8 points now for the senior Jabal Williams as the lead is out to 16, biggest of the game for Huntington High. That's the risk that Capital is taking. Frank, if you're going to put pressure, you got to understand that Huntington High can score easily if they break it. Berkeley going to yank up the 3. Patterson with the rebound. Quick outlet to Jabal Williams, and numbers for Huntington High again. Williams goes up. Contested on the way up by Armstrong. Nicely done.
Yeah, good job by Armstrong to get there late because Williams was this thing can slam that one too. And I think you mentioned Capital's pressure. I think what they're trying to do as much as anything is give them some different looks and slow them down. I think they realize they're not going to get a lot of steals, but they don't want to give up too many easy baskets either.
Oh, great look from O.J. Mayo into Brandon Hutchison, and he's fouled by Clyde Armstrong, but that's what O.J. Mayo brings.
A good job by Mayo, seeing Hutchison inside. And again, you don't want to give up the easy baskets if you're Capital. You're trying to apply some pressure. They applied some zone pressure. You've gone man-to-man, try to slow them down and give them different looks. But you don't want to give up the easy stuff, and that's what they gave up there.
First foul on Armstrong. It's 18 fouls against the Capital Cougars. Hutchison completes a three-point play. He's got 3. The lead now 19, biggest of the game for the Highlanders.
Well, let's look at the point totals for Huntington. 34 here, midway through the second quarter. That's really good, but it's the defense that stands out.
Wow, what a great shot.
That's a tough shot. If you're Lloyd McGuffin over there in the Huntington bench, you can't be displeased with your defense. That's a tough shot.
Nice move from Michael Taylor, leaves it for Bruce Sr. And he's fouled by Tyrone Gord, and Sr. will go to the line.
Great pass by Taylor. This kid has tremendous vision. Take a look at it here. Through traffic under the arm of Gord.
First foul on Tyrone Gord. Bruce Sr. had a spectacular game against Scott County. Back in Huntington, he's a role player, but maybe that's not kind enough. He's more than a role player.
He's extremely productive. He doesn't make many mistakes, doesn't miss many shots, shoots about 70% of the year, doesn't he?
Yeah, 35-17 is the score, and he's good for a lot of double-doubles. He'll get you 10 and 10.
Shoots over 71% or so on the year because he doesn't take bad shots.
And he gets rebounds, and he's strong with the basketball. That was a little bit of an out-of-control shot by the Cougars, is maybe reaching just a little bit here, down 35-17. There's the kick out to Taylor. Michael Taylor for 3. In and out. Malik Witten has it knocked out of bounds. 3:37 to go before halftime, and the Huntington Highlanders, kind of like their style, it's quick and they score quickly. They lead it by 18 over the Cougars.
If you're not wearing Dickies, what are you wearing? Working Men's Store has all your Dickies for any occasion. Dickies cell phone shorts in 12 colors, just $19.95. Short sleeve and long sleeve shirts to match. Dickies cell phone pants in sizes 32 to 50. Dickies hooded jackets in all colors, plus Dickies hats, bib overalls, carpenter pants, and much, much more. Working Men's Store is your Dickies headquarters. Hustle in now to Working Men's Store, Huntington and Point Pleasant, the Tri-State's king of blue jeans. Hitch up to a great deal at Carmichael Trailers. Stop in and see our great selection of horse and livestock trailers, manufactured by Kiefer Built, one of the most respected names in the industry. The Deluxe 2 aluminum livestock trailer is built better 4 ways: stronger doors, stronger floors, stronger walls, stronger superstructure. The all-aluminum Genesis horse trailer comes with the best warranty in the industry. If comfort is what you desire, check out our living quarters trailer.
Hello, I'm David Sherman at Carmichael Trailers. I'm here for all your horse trailer needs. Just give me a call.
Carmichael Trailers. We help do the hauling in your world.
Welcome back to the Charleston Civic Center. Unselfish are the Highlanders tonight. O.J. Mayo with 9, Patterson 12, and Jamal Williams with 8. Carl Clark, they got off to the good start, Frank, and Tyrone Gord certainly was the hot man. Lately, though, they've had trouble getting into their offensive flow.
Yeah, Huntington's defense has really been locking them down on the perimeter, stepping into passing lanes. And again, Capital playing a lot of different combinations, even from what you see earlier in the year. They've gone deep into the bench early in this game. Dominic Green, one of their starters, is not playing. That disrupts their whole lineup because he's a big post presence inside as well. So they're playing a little short-handed, doing the best they can here.
Gord with a nice move, but he stepped on the baseline. And again, when we talk about these guys, nearly all of them are juniors. Charles Leonard is a senior, but most of the rest of these guys have another year.
Well, you remember the player, diminutive one, Josh Cookie Miller from Capital a couple of years ago. Signed with Nebraska, hopes to be a Cornhusker next year.
Ball is off Bruce Sr. I asked Coach Clark about Witten, and comparing him to some of the great players he's had in the past, and he said, Cookie was a special talent. He doesn't have that kind of ability in terms of what he can do with the ball, but he is a definite star for the Cougars.
I still think Cookie Miller is a college marketing guy's dream.
Oh, yeah.
You call your arena the cookie jar. Don't get caught with your hand in the cookie jar. You can do all kinds of things with Cookie Miller.
Mayo leading the break. Oh, and he tried to give it up inside, but it caroms back to the Cougars.
He was trying to avoid the charge that time and caused him to change the direction of the pass.
Rio Berkeley knocks down the three.
You look back at Carl Clark and some of the teams and athletes he's coached. You mentioned Cookie Miller, even going back to the Stonewall days of guys like Stuart Mitchell and Maurice Bryson, teams that won back-to-back state championships in those days. A lot of talent on the west side and in the inner city of Charleston there.
The Rio Berkeley three has cut the lead to 15. That's his first bucket of the game. 35-20. Huntington High leads it. And one thing Lloyd McGuffin wants to do is make sure his team does not become complacent even with the big lead.
Well, and that again starts defensively as well. This is one of the few open looks the Capitals had here in the first half. They were able to take advantage of it.
Berkeley averages 14 a game, so he can fill it up. Tyron Gord off to a quick start for the Cougars.
The thing with Huntington High, they just have so many weapons and guys they can go to for baskets at key times. Taylor can shoot and score. Williams, a smooth shooter over in the far wing. Mayo, certainly one of the great players in the country. And Patterson, tremendous talent as well.
Mayo lines up the three, no good.
Not a great shot that time by O.J. Mayo. One of the few mental mistakes maybe they made. I think Lloyd McGuffin may want to see them run a little more offense here and get a better shot, better look than that.
Taylor almost lost it out of bounds. Now Mayo with it, changes directions.
It's a pretty good look.
Up and under, yeah. Good defense, though, by the Cougars. Mayo goes for the steal, but Tyrone Gord's telling his guards, hey, come get the basketball once I get the rebound.
Well, 2 minutes to go here, a little over 2 minutes, and you're right. Huntington has kind of slowed down just a little bit, Keith, and gotten a little bit out of sorts offensively. Capital a chance to try to take advantage of that here and maybe go into the locker room with some momentum.
Nice take inside, but Reeves can't get it to go.
Yeah, tough shot that time by Reeves across a lot of traffic.
Oh, look at the pass from Patterson into Mayo. That's just great awareness, Frank.
The big guy runs the floor so well. A lot of times when you're a post player, you run the floor well, you get rewarded with a basket. He rewards himself with a great assist as well.
11 points now for Mayo. There's a nice look inside, and Patterson clears. Huntington has numbers again. Williams gave it back up to Taylor, who had a better shot.
Taylor, the extra pass there. Taylor loves that corner jumper. He shoots that shot from the deep corner about as well as any guard you'll see in high school.
And how many times do you hear coaches, Frank, talk about the extra pass? One guy's got a little bit better, a little more open shot than you do.
They love it. And look out here.
Showtime.
They walk. They travel. Oh, he's going to be frustrated with that. He just lost his concentration
hey,
for just a moment.
You see the whole arena just light up because he's got nobody in between, and it was impressive, but good call by the official.
Yeah, you didn't really see it on the replay there, but he just kind of caught the ball and went strolling for just a step and a half or so.
There's an E.A. Laney jersey. That's an old Michael Jordan jersey, and that was reminiscent a little bit of the Nike pitch man. Lead is 20 now, just under a minute to go before halftime. There's Berkeley with it, working on Jamal Williams, and finds Patterson in his way, which is often the case when you go inside.
They're taking some tough shots right now, Capital. The last 3 possessions, they've taken very difficult shots. Not what Carl Clark wants to see to try to get back into the game. You don't get many chances to chip away at this lead.
That's a lazy pass by Michael Taylor, who was looking for Mayo, and Malik Whitten, who plays football, tracked that one down. Senior fouled by Vincent Britton, and so he'll go to the free throw line. First foul on Britton. Nice body control, but you can tell Whitten's an athlete, huh?
Yeah, you mentioned the pass by Taylor. Lesser athletes would not have been able to make that interception. That was a nice play defensively to come up with it. Didn't really have the numbers when he took that shot, but it's about as good a look as you're going to get against this Huntington team.
Bruce Sr. with 6 rebounds already. Extends the lead out to 21 now. 4 points for Senior. Nice reverse. Oh, but Malik Witten stepped on the baseline.
A skip pass, sometimes against this Huntington team with Mayo and Patterson, has to be a little bit higher, and it makes it tougher to be on target. Nice
Good look
pass.
again from Patrick Patterson into Bruce Sr.
Great pass inside, post guy to post guy. You love to see that. Senior with a good finish.
Lead is 23 as the Highlanders have opened it up here in the second quarter. Berkeley going to fire the 3. And that is your first half of basketball.
Pretty convincing performance by the Highlanders here in the first half of this one.
Huntington High making a statement. They lead it over the second-ranked Capital Cougars, 43-20. We'll be back to the Charleston Civic Center after this. You and I have talked before, it's hard to think of a team that has more talent that puts on the floor at one individual time than Huntington High. For the Cougars, you know, even Carl Clark thinking about next year, but every time they go out and play a game like this, it can only help them.
Well, it is a young team, as you mentioned. So much of their nucleus are going to be back next year. And you know, these two teams both will figure in the mix again next year as well. But when you look at this Huntington High team, it's so rare to find a team that's got 5 or 6 true Division I caliber players, not just Division I caliber players, but All-American caliber players. And Patterson and Mayo certainly are All-Americans in anybody's book.
So we're just about set to tip it up here for the second half as Huntington High leads at 43-20. Mayo with 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 steals. Patterson, 12 points, 6 rebounds. Tyrone Gord has 8 for Capital. And Malik Witten with 4 for the Cougars.
You know, when you talk about Patterson, Keith, West Virginia as a state, we're a small state. We haven't produced that many pure post players. There have been a lot of great guards and combo players come out of this state, but there haven't been that many great post players. You look at Patterson, you ask yourself the question, is he the best post player ever in the state? We'll bring up some names of some other guys here
as we
in
go
this
along.
second half as we go along, but there haven't been that many great post guys in the state. But we'll talk about a few of the really good ones.
He's got all the tools, certainly. So Capital has it first here. It's Tyrone Gord working on Patterson. Got Patterson up in the air nicely. Whip got it up there. Rejected. Blocked again. Blocked again. Gord gets it to go. So perseverance pays off for the Cougars.
It's a great stretch for Capital right there. Gord and Witten just battling inside. Good tone for the start of the second half.
There's a quick turnover as Capital makes the steal here. A nice bounce pass, but talking about running the floor, Patterson had it, dropped it, and Malik Witten scores. So 4 quick ones for the Cougars. That's what Carl Clark wanted to happen.
I think Patterson was almost surprised to see the ball. He was just trying to hustle back on defense. All of a sudden, he had a chance for the steal.
There's a great look from O.J. Mayo into Patrick Patterson.
And that is just just pinpoint passing to Patterson inside. Great ball move.
And when the ball doesn't touch the floor, usually good things happen for the Highlanders when you pressure it.
Capital was better in the first half when Leonard stayed in the game. Keith, number 10, the guard defensively. He's back able to start the second half here.
Witten with nice penetration. Patterson tips it back to himself. And look at the big guy go onto the ground behind his back.
That was a spectacular turnover, but it was spectacular.
No question. There's another block as Bruce Sr. got a piece of it. Now getting a little bit sloppy, but a nice bucket inside from Rio Berkeley.
Berkeley wasn't too happy about receiving the pass in that position, but he said, what the heck, I'll just score it here.
Nice take from Jamal Williams as we're seeing the athleticism come to the forefront here early in the third quarter.
But again, you may not see, going back to that sequence by Patterson, you might not see a turnover that deserves to be on the highlight reel, but that one does.
Did a little slide into home plate there after that as well. Berkeley again for three, and Rio Berkeley.
That's a great shot by Berkeley. Mayo challenged it. Berkeley a good open shooter if he gets time to let it fly. Huntington trying to challenge it, had Mayo, outstanding defender there. Berkeley still able to hit it.
Jamal Williams trying to answer from the other side. Knocked out of bounds by senior. Be Capital basketball. But credit Carl Clark and Capital for coming out with a lot of enthusiasm, a little energy here to start the third.
No question. I was about to say, great start by Capital here early.
Wow. And Patterson swallows up Charles Leonard, but he's called for the foul. That's only his first, so he stayed out of foul trouble tonight.
I like what Leonard has given Capital here offensively and defensively. Trying to attack here. He knows it's a tough scoring opportunity against Patterson, but hey, you got to go at the big guys sometimes. And Patterson has done a nice job of staying out of foul trouble because it's hard for big guys when they are playing against smaller guys to avoid foul trouble. He will be more effective even at the college level when guys are
when they can
his
play a little
own
more physical,
size.
right? Yeah,
he can
absolutely.
feel their body, know where they are. He knows exactly where the post-up opportunities are. It's tough sometimes when you're so much bigger.
There's another steal. Taylor tries to step in front of Leonard, does so. There's another foul. Jamal Williams will send Charles Leonard to the free throw line.
Well, you mentioned the enthusiasm Capital came out with. Keith, they think they can come back and win this game. There's a comfortable Huntington High lead, but Capital, they're coming out here in the second half. They're not throwing in the towel. They think they can come back and win this game. They're playing well.
Leonard makes, and that's 3 points on the evening for Charles Leonard. And you know, Carl Clark told his guys, hey, look, they're up 23. They probably are going to come out and coast a little bit, so bring the game to them.
You know, Lloyd McGuffin is telling his team, you better not coast. We don't want you to coast out there. That's the challenge when you're up comfortably, is to stay focused.
Well, and you have that mentality that you can score at any time, and there's a tendency to get a little complacent sometimes. Mayo with a little step back, and he's called for the offensive push-off.
It was the right arm that got him in trouble there. Great move, so quick with a dribble, but just the right arm got out there a little bit.
2 fouls on O.J. Mayo.
Talking about Capital earlier in the history of Stonewall, Jackson, Charleston High consolidating. Huntington High, of course, is a consolidation of Huntington East and the old Huntington High. Huntington coach Lloyd McGuffin, one of the few players who actually played for both schools, I believe, Keith.
Wow, nice move by Gord. Yes, he did.
Transfers were not that common back then. It happened occasionally, but Lloyd McGuffin had a chance to wear the old red and blue of Huntington High and the maroon and gold of Huntington East. Great move by Gord, by the way.
That's considered treason in some circles if you're a Huntington High or a Huntington East fan.
In the old days, in the old days.
Mayo with a beautiful take. Finished by Patterson.
Boy, it helps having a big guy around and just he's so active inside.
Tough luck for Capital there.
I think O.J. Mayo a little frustrated, thought he was fouled on that last drive. Has to make sure that doesn't let that frustration affect what he does on the defensive end. He's such a good defender. Sometimes when you're frustrated offensively, it affects your defense. Here he goes again.
Nice alley-oop into Patterson, who's got 18.
He just creates so much. What a nice save by Witten. That pass was coming right at us. But Mayo creates so much with his penetration. Great look for his teammate Patterson.
Knocked out of bounds by Michael Taylor. And boy, just so unselfish. And you know, so many people want to see O.J. try to get 35 or 40. That's not his M.O. That's just not what he does. He gets his points, but he gets his teammates involved as well.
He's about winning. He gets frustrated because he's a competitor. All the great competitors have that hunger to win, and O.J. Mayo has that.
Mayo steps back for the three. In and out.
What was the old TV show, This Is Your Life?
Yeah.
For Patrick Patterson, this is kind of his night, isn't it? I mean, MAC Player of the Year. He's been dominant from start to finish.
It's two straight games
he's
he's played that are just outstanding on both ends of the floor. Taylor alley-oops it into O.J. Mayo, and Mayo kind of screams just in frustration. And there are 3:36 to go here in the third quarter as Huntington High has the lead over the Cougars by 19.
Everyone's talking turkey with Subway Restaurant's new pepper-crusted turkey BLT. Delicious sliced turkey breast encrusted with a zesty 4-pepper spice blend. Fresh toasted with bacon and cheese and topped with your choice of vegetables and creamy mayonnaise. Come in today. Subway. Eat fresh.
Subway restaurants are proud to present Personal Pizza. We make it right in front of you. Top it however you like with your choice of fresh ingredients. Then we pop it in the oven and it's ready in 90 seconds. Pizza at Subway restaurants.
Subway, eat fresh.
It's a 6-day President's Day sale, now through Tuesday. From the new Center of Charleston, Huntington, zero APR is back for a very limited time. Get sale prices on over 200 Saturn, plus zero APR for up to 60 months. Now through Tuesday only, every new Saturn bears the mark of zero, including the all-new Saturn Aura, the North American car of the year, beating Camry and Accord, starting at $21,270 with zero APR. This sale absolutely ends Tuesday at Center of Charleston, Huntington, I-64 and exit 34.
Patrick Patterson now with 18 points, 12 rebounds. Getting some help from his teammate O.J. Mayo, who's got 5 assists.
Well, we look at O.J. Mayo and all the things he can do, can shoot and score. And when you think of great players, you think of scoring, but he's a complete player. He does so many things. He passes the ball, he handles it. We talked earlier about his defense. He's got great hands, quick hands, good anticipation. And I'm excited to see him at the collegiate level next year, display even more of those talents. His ability to defend on the perimeter when he's out at USC in the Pac-10, that's going to be fun to watch.
And certainly, he needs that next challenge, that next level. He's been dominant, besides this level, at every level he's been at, from buddy basketball in Huntington and where he moved on to Kentucky and then over to Cincinnati and now in Huntington. This guy has been a phenom and all the pressure that goes with it,
Casts a pretty big shadow everywhere he goes, doesn't he? Even in Kentucky as a youngster, and as you mentioned, now here, and he'll do that next year even in LA. I think, if things go well out there and go as planned, USC's a building program under Tim Floyd. You're in LA, there's a lot of glitz, a lot of glamour. USC basketball has been no part of that in the past. Football has, but not basketball. But look out, Hollywood. OJ may be coming there in starring fashion next year. So.
Yeah, the stars may come out to see number 32. Hey, go to WSAZ.com to vote for the Subway Player of the Game and register to win 4 foot-long subs brought to you by Subway. Eat fresh.
Yeah, we were talking about Patrick Patterson. Is he the best pure post guy to ever play high school basketball in the state of West Virginia? Can go back into some time and give you some other names. And again, as a small state, we've had more guards and small forwards than we have post guys. But you go back into the 40s and 50s. Mark Workman, the old Charleston High player, was a great player, All-American at WVU. Chris Smith from Charleston High in the 50s went to Virginia Tech, was an All-Southern Conference, tremendous player there as well. Warren Baker of Greenbrier East, who played in Morgantown.
3 from out front is no good. Well, one barometer you use, Frank, is who's recruiting these guys. And, he's got top of the line. He's got the pedigree. Duke, Kentucky, Florida.
Well, and how much have you won as well? The great players, they like to know what you've won. Well, he's won everything he can win in West Virginia high school basketball so far. And if he wins a third one, that's a pretty good pedigree also.
Stand still for the block that time. And here come the Highlanders on the run out. There's the alley-oop. Disrupted as O.J. Mayo elevated. So too, though, did Tyrone Gord. Both those guys got up.
See the nice hustle by Gord to come down and break up the play, trying not to allow the easy bucket. When you're playing, even if you're in a game that's getting out of hand, nobody likes to be dunked on. You don't like to let the other team dunk at your expense, and Gord was trying to break that up. Talking about other post guys that played here with a lot of success, one of the more underrated ones in the mid-60s was Jim Woodall from Dunbar. Went to Tennessee, was a good player for Ray Mears there. Bill Lindsay from Charlestown played at Fairmont. But there haven't been a slew of big pure post guys. Danny Moses from Williamson, early 70s.
Larry Watson,
Wake Forest, Larry Watson, Huntington High.
13 points for Mayo as he converts both. And I want to credit the officials, Bob Sparks, Mark Witt, and Sean Andrews. As soon as those guys collided, he went in there and said, hey, everybody okay? And they broke up potentially tough situation. They've done a nice job tonight. Little floater inside. Malik Whitten.
Athletic play by tremendous athlete Whitten. That was over Patterson.
8 points now for Whitten.
Jamal Williams and Patterson banged knees a moment ago playing defense, and Williams is a tad gimpy, nothing serious.
Floater by Taylor. Look who's right there again. Patterson this time is short. Here come the Cougars the other way. Rio Berkeley with it. Wide open for three. In and out. Oh, nice look inside to Whitten, who's tied up by Bruce Sr. And he's called, he wanted the jump ball, as you can see. Thought he tied him up.
Tyrone Gord's played well for Capital tonight, Keith. We talked about his scoring earlier, his ability to battle. You're going to see the nice pass here from Gord, unselfish play, doesn't force the shot, looks for a better opportunity for his teammate. Tyrone Gord's played well.
Whitten now for 2 free throws. Brandon Hutchinson will check in and give Michael Taylor a rest. Or no, he will actually give Jamal Williams a rest.
Yeah, I mentioned Williams kind of banged knees with Patterson earlier. Nothing serious, but just good to get him out of there a little bit. He's got that nice, smooth jump shot as well. We were talking earlier, Keith, he reminds me of, you remember Keith Tyler when he played in high school, the old Charleston High, went on to the University of Charleston, great player. Look out.
Tyrone Gord, he went up with OJ. And maybe an inch or two on him, but man, he got up.
You can see Mayo was loading up. He cocked that one back big time. He was going to bring a heavy hand dunk into the Civic Center with that one, and Gord was able to stop it. But OJ had a lot of, it was like a powder keg ready to explode with that one.
And, Gord came out of nowhere.
Yeah. You do not like to be dunked on in any game. You don't like to give up a Thunder dunk. They're fun to watch for us, but when you're playing against it, you don't like to let it happen. You'll stop it if you can.
Plus, it just shows, great competitiveness. He didn't quit. Mayo had a little bit of a step on him, but he stayed with it.
It's Gord's third personal. I think he thought he was coming out of the game, but Carl Clark lets him stay in.
Mayo makes 1 of 2. 14 points for the senior O.J. Mayo. The lead is 20 still for Huntington High. There's Gord inside, senior.
Good job.
Right over him.
Good job by Gord because Patterson came out to challenge the shot. That left the offensive rebounding opportunity there for Capital.
14 for Tyrone Gord as the Capital Cougars force the turnover.
Capital playing with a lot of enthusiasm right now, even though they've been down comfortably for most of this game, and certainly since about the midway point of the first half, they're still playing with a lot of enthusiasm.
Well, they're 5 points better than Huntington High in this quarter, and you got to give them credit. Like you say, you can pack it in, and maybe a team that, lesser talent or a team that doesn't have the resolve maybe just says, all right, let's get to the bus, but not these guys.
Huntington High trying to regain some of that enthusiasm as well. They've been kind of very businesslike, though, most of this night. They haven't shown a lot of emotion. They've just played. Patterson has been dominant, and he continues to be dominant. Mayo's shown a lot of flair. Just kind of working. Again, remember, he hadn't played in 3 games.
Yeah.
This is his first game he's played in, and after missing the 3 games, he's getting back into the flow of things as well.
People think if you just practice, it's the same thing, but it's not the same thing. You got to get out in game situations. It's Kenneth Booth who's checked in. High arching shot. Here comes Mayo with it. Gord right behind him, the alley-oop. Oh, nice pass to Patterson. Mayo gonna fire up on the 3. Yes!
It was a great pass from Mayo to Patrick Patterson. He just couldn't quite finish it, but then Mayo
the answer.
Deep 3.
How about the high arching answer from Malik Whitten?
And that was challenged. Mayo had a nice hand in his face. Deep 3 by Whitten.
Oh, they were going at it. Wow, Bruce Sr. hit hard by Tyrone Gord, and that
stings.
That sent the big fella to the floor.
That stings. There was no cushion there at all, coming down on the small of his back. That stings.
You gotta like Malik Witten there, kind of hanging around to see if he's okay, and that's a nice gesture. That's 4 fouls on Gord. Lloyd McGuffin and his training squad out to attend to the tough senior. He looks a little wobbly, Frank, but he's a tough guy.
That's a pretty good smack. I mean, he came down with no ability to catch himself. And you're right, he looks a little woozy. That one stings.
Well, he's answering questions, and that's good to see.
He says, "What are you doing to me here? You're putting hands everywhere. What are you doing?" He's a tough guy.
Whoa! That one had the makings of a highlight reel. That time it goes down. Taylor to Patterson.
You can't stop them all, can you? Capitals defended some of them, and you can't stop them all.
They run too many at you. There's a steal by Taylor ahead to O.J. Mayo. Lightning quick, the Highlanders finish out the quarter. Huntington High, the #1 ranked team, showing it here tonight. They lead it by 22 over the Capital Cougars. The highlights aren't finished yet.
Hi, I'm Ted Johnson of T.R. Johnson & Son. Surveys show that less than 10% of third-generation businesses survive. But when you follow in the steps of men like my grandfather and my dad, you can't go wrong. They believed in hard work, quality work, and being dependable, courteous, and honest. Some of our staff worked for both of them. The others soon learned the difference. See the difference at T.R. Johnson & Son, working the way my dad and grandfather wanted us to. T.R. Johnson & Son, plumbing, heating, cooling since 1938.
Everyone's talking turkey with Subway Restaurant's new pepper-crusted turkey BLT. Delicious sliced turkey breast encrusted with a zesty 4-pepper spice blend. Fresh toasted with bacon and cheese and topped with your choice of vegetables and creamy mayonnaise. Come in today. Subway. Eat fresh.
Subway restaurants are proud to present Personal Pizza. We make it right in front of you. Top it however you like with your choice of fresh ingredients. Then we pop it in the oven and it's ready in 90 seconds. Pizza at Subway restaurants.
Subway, eat fresh.
O.J. Mayo and company showing their stuff here at the Charleston Civic Center, leading it by 22. Frank, the reason you come to these games, you don't want to miss a highlight, and there are plenty of them. Both teams athletic, high-flying, fun to watch.
We talked about Patrick Patterson's exchange earlier where he turned the ball over, and even that was spectacular. A couple of missed dunks have been highlight plays as well. They just haven't gone down. Even the mistakes are acrobatic and exciting.
Mayo is on Whitten.
He hit a deep three over Mayo the last time from the left side of the floor.
He did hit from the Charleston Civic Center logo, Frank. He was out there.
Good hustle.
Tries it. Good hustle. Yeah, gets his own board.
It's a good hustle. I mean, you're down 20, you miss a shot, you went and got it back. That shows you a lot.
16 points for Tyrone Gord, who has led the Highlanders all night, or rather the Cougars all night. Foul whistled on number 13, Kenneth Booth.
Mayo is, you try to come up. Booth was trying to play good defense, trying to go chest to chest, come up and pressure Mayo. He's so quick. He can go around you if you give him room. He's got the great range to shoot the deep three. What do you do?
And that one inadvertently goes out of bounds as Michael Taylor couldn't track it down.
That's not going to hurt them in this game, but that's a little frustrating to Lloyd McGuffin and the Huntington coaching staff, an unforced error.
He does stay on plan, no matter what the lead is. Booth working on Hutchison. Charles Leonard flashes open, but look who he finds underneath. So he's got to take it back out.
Leonard's about 5'9", kind of work on Patterson inside, makes a good decision. He's done a good job for Capital Leonard.
There's Witten again, going to fire up the long three. This time no good. There's another turnover. As Huntington High a little sloppy now.
Well, Hutchinson knew that Taylor was going to come out to the wing there and go around the screen from Patterson, and that time he and Patterson got log jammed, got hung up with each other, and Taylor couldn't get away.
Lead still 20 here, 6:31 to go. The pace is kind of slowed down a little bit after a frenetic third quarter. Spin move by Booth, and Hutchinson with a nice job on defense there.
Williams back into the game. Again, we haven't seen a lot of Chris Early in this.
No, played early in the first half and hasn't been back.
He did win the Slam Dunk Championship here earlier today.
Leonard goes up, lays it up and in over Hutchinson. Whoa, there's a collision at half court. And that one sends both players to the court, Michael Taylor and Tyrone Gord.
Wow, that's a collision, big time collision. Gord was coming up to try to make the steal. Not a bad idea. He knew where the pass was going, the long entry pass, and he thought he could get a read on it, just didn't get there in time, and he and Taylor colliding. Wow.
Now both guys still down. Gord the bigger of the two, but that collision, you know, that's just a lot of speed and
it's a football collision.
Absolutely.
Football collision without equipment right there, and that's what's scary. One of the things about when you have guys as athletic as these two teams are, guys are running fast, they're above the rim, they fall hard. When things like that happen, you have the potential to have some powerful collisions.
And you see Gord going over to check on Taylor as he's the first one up.
And Gord has just fouled out of the game as well.
He played hard, he's played tough. He's a competitor, you know that.
As is Michael Taylor, who is still getting some attention over there at midcourt.
That would only be the fifth if they called it on Gord, and we assume that they did.
You can see the concern on the faces of everyone in the stands, everyone up quickly when they saw this collision happen. They know, the people here know they are blessed to see this kind of talent athletically, and no one wants to see anybody get hurt.
Well, you mentioned that, and you made a great point, Frank. These are athletes of different proportions than, frankly, most of us are used to seeing in high school in this state. So you're going to have these kinds of athletic moves, athletic collisions.
We've seen Bruce Sr. go down earlier. We've seen Gord and Taylor go down here. But fortunately, everyone looks okay. Taylor is going to go back into the training room.
Yeah, they're going to check him out, and that's very smart. They're still looking at Tyrone Gord over at the end of his bench. Gord had 16 points and really was their star. Looks like he's got a little blood on the chin.
He showed you a lot tonight as a competitor in how hard he went after loose balls, offensive rebounds. He fouls out with 5:47 to play. But he was aggressive, played very well.
Went up for the block on OJ. So, yeah, he's Mayo again to the hoop. Oh, wow. And Patterson tipped it in.
That's something you won't see very often. Patrick Patterson tipping one in below the rim, Keith.
That's right.
He was kind of bouncing around and tripping and falling off balance, and he couldn't elevate. And even below the rim, Patty Pat sticks it in with a tap.
He was coming back down. It looked like Frankie has 24 points, but this is a phenomenal move by Mayo, and just the English on the glass to almost get this to go.
Look at how low Patterson is here compared to where he's normally dropping them down through the basket. Great block by Mayo. Head up defense, nice defensive play by Mayo.
Hutchinson all the way in. Patterson drop step, no good. Here come the Cougars the other way. Nice soft touch by Malik Witten.
Witten looking around him, just checking to see where Patrick Patterson was, whether he was trailing the play or not. But Witten quick with the ball, tough to catch him.
Nice look inside from Jamal Williams to Lambros Savingos, who's checked in, and he stays with it, gets his first bucket of the game.
We may see some additional reserves get in here the last 4:45. Both these teams, as you mentioned several times, they have a lot of stakes, a lot of bigger stakes to play for than this game later on in the year. And these two teams could meet again.
They're still looking at Senior over there on the bench as well. Another high-flying act inside as Witten goes hard.
I think Patterson may have blocked that with his left hand.
Yeah, he did. And then was stepping on the baseline after he touched the ball.
Well, Witten, we were talking earlier in the game about getting in the flow of the game, and he missed a couple of shots early, but he is in the flow of the game now. He's played well for Capital also. Taylor has returned to the Huntington High bench, which is a good sign.
Right, that's the applause you heard. Wow, there's another collision. And this time it's called on Kenneth Booth, and so I believe that's the 7th team foul, which would send Huntington High to the free throw line.
Fouls committed by Capitals number 13.
Booth got his money's worth. He wiped out 2 guys that time. Spingos and Williams both going down, although that was more a case of guys getting their legs tangled up than anything else. But again, this kid, like I said, he reminds me a lot of a Keith Tyler who played at Charleston High in the 80s, went on to the University of Charleston, was an All-American there, NAIA All-American, had a terrific career. Similar body types, both great shooters.
He elevates a little better than Tyler. Tyler perhaps a better slash, a little quicker, but Williams with 12 points has certainly played well here tonight.
A little stronger than Keith Tyler, which is pretty true of athletes of this era. Weight programs weren't what they were back then, but what a great player Keith Tyler was at the old Charleston High. Never got to a state tournament. It was so difficult back then. Stonewall Jackson had great teams, and Charleston had trouble getting out of the sectional.
Mayo fouls Witten on the way in. 3 on O.J. Mayo. That's 16 fouls for Huntington High, so the next foul will put Capital on the line.
Carl Clark wants to see his team finish out without being sloppy. Lloyd McGuffin, the same thing here, no matter who he has in the game.
Witten tries to get it up and in, and Savingos is called for the foul.
It was a great defensive play by Patterson there, by the way. It would have been easy to allow Booth to score the layup inside, up 17, 3:51 to play. Still challenged it. Got into the fray a little bit. Witten will go to the free throw line. One thing the Highlanders have done tonight is they have not allowed Capital to get a lot of easy points, easy baskets. And Patterson continuing that with that last block, even with a comfortable lead with less than 4 minutes to go.
17 points now for Malik Witten as he hits both free throws. 3:51 to go here at the Charleston Civic Center. MSAC Championship game. Huntington High leads it by 20 over the Cougars.
At Royal Jeep, Subaru, and Suzuki, we're having our gigantic inventory reduction sale. Plow through the snow. We have 167 4x4 vehicles. Choose from cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get fantastic rebates on 2007 Jeeps. Buy a new Subaru at a great sale price, plus get up to $1,500 in rebates. And all of our new Suzukis will be sold at invoice minus huge rebates. At Royal Jeep, Subaru, and Suzuki, Patrick Street Plaza, the dealership that's different.
How are you feeling tonight? I'm thrilled. Cheesy bites are back. Tony, fire up the limo!
Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza is back. No pizza is more irresistible with 28 poppable cheesy bites. Get a large one-topping pizza for just $11.99.
Cheesy bites, my one true love.
Want more fun? Get America's favorite pizza, Pizza Hut.
Welcome back to the Charleston Civic Center. Patrick Patterson, the leading man for the Highlanders. 24 points, 15 rebounds. Malik Witten leading Capital with 17 points. Go to WSAZ.com to vote for the Subway Player of the Game and register to win 4 foot-long subs, Brought to you by Subway. Eat fresh.
Capital continues to apply some pressure here, trying some man-to-man pressure.
This is all stuff they'll use again later. Williams with a floater. Patterson stuck it back up in there, but Savingo's called for his second foul.
Exactly right. You make a good point, Keith. Even though this game is almost in the books, these two teams have a lot of important games coming up, and they still want to do what they do best. They want to make themselves better here over the next 3 minutes and 38 seconds than they are right now. That's what it's all about, getting better every time you're on the floor and doing what you do best.
Sectionals will be coming up soon, and then, of course, the regionals and the state tournament back here in Charleston. Both these teams would like nothing better than to be back out here with a state title on the line. Malik Witten with his 18th point.
Huntington winning a state championship last year over George Washington out of the Kanawha Valley. Capital went to the state tournament. A lot of people forget this young team went to the tournament last year and got a win in the opening round of the tournament before losing to Huntington in the second round. But they're a better team than that team that was beaten pretty soundly by last year's Huntington High team in the semifinals.
Witten, perfect 8 of 8 from the free throw line, but now Mayo will go back. Both teams in the bonus.
Curious to see how long some of the stars will stay in this game as we approach that 3-minute mark.
Patterson collects the rebound and kicks it back out.
Tell you what, that's a great little sneaky peekaboo drive by O.J. Mayo. He got low through two very small defenders, kept that dribble going, and made himself get to the free throw line.
Well, when you face as many double teams as he does, you work on that.
Of all sizes, all shapes and sizes.
You know, it's tough as you watch Mayo make the first for Lloyd McGuffin, you know, to figure out, you know, when you take out your stars. People pay money, they come out to watch these guys, but you don't want to, you know, certainly run it up. Yeah, and you don't want to get them hurt. So
that's the thing.
All kinds of different problems posed with a team of this caliber.
We've seen Taylor go down and Senior go down to injuries that don't appear to be serious, but both have ice packs over there. Taylor's got one on his nose and his eye, and Senior's got one on the top of his head.
This guy's a little bit of a mash unit going over there. We obviously hope they're okay, and they seem to be, as is Tyrone Gord. Witten, nice penetration for the bucket.
That's a tremendous drive by Malik Witten through a lot of traffic, including the top traffic cop in the state, and Patrick Patterson.
Yeah, with a little step back move, and that's no good. Here comes Reeves with it. Charles Leonard too strong. Litt throws up a wild shot.
You know, we talk about Mayo being double teamed a lot too, Keith. Witten sees a lot of the same thing for Capital. I mean, he's kind of their go-to guy, and he gets double teamed, especially out here on the perimeter quite a bit, even tonight.
Clyde Armstrong will go to the free throw line. 1-1 for Capital. This season averaged 3.5 a game. Makes the first. His first point of the game. Second one no good. Sabingos comes up with it. Now Mayo has it. Penetration with the left hand. Save back in down. Here come the Cougars. Down 17 at this point.
Nice job.
Great pass.
Nice job. You're right. Excellent look by Booth that time.
Now another turnover. Malik Witten battling, and now the lead is just 13, so Lloyd McGuffin going to have to call a timeout and regroup with 2:06 to go.
A couple of turnovers. Great pass by Booth, as you mentioned there, to Leonard. And then Witten has a nose for the basketball. When he comes up with the offensive rebound, he knows exactly, great body control. I tell you, a lot of football coaches would look at a Malik Witten and like what they see of him as a basketball player and project him on the football side of things as well. They like to see the athleticism, the body control. You know, he's not the biggest guy in the world to be a post guy in college basketball, but if you're a football coach, you know, besides a basketball coach, but if you're a football coach looking at Witten, you like what you see of him on the basketball court.
He brings that mentality. Let's check our Subway player of the game tonight. Should be fairly obvious because we've called his name a lot. Patrick Patterson has been a monster for the Highlanders. Rebounding, dunks, changing shots. Patrick Patterson, your Subway player of the game.
Well, what hasn't he won tonight? Subway player of the game.
Player of the year.
MSAC player of the year. If they have a 50-50, is he going to win that too? He probably would.
I like his chances.
It would be a pretty good pot here tonight. He's probably got the winning ticket. He's the meal ticket. Has been for 3 years, boy. He's proving to be basketball royalty in the state of West Virginia.
A little pressure there, doesn't do much. Savingos inside, puts it up and in. Nice up and under from the big fella.
A great job by Savingos, and nice job in transition by Huntington.
And Capital has to pressure. You know, they're certainly down. And Whit continues to keep his guys going.
He does.
Work the offense.
Another good scoring night. You mentioned he had 32 the last time. And Huntington's trying not to foul him, and he knows that. He's attacking him.
Too hard on the three-point attempt. And Williams has a free pass. This time he's going to give it up to O.J. Mayo.
That was what I would call a polite dunk.
A soft, feathery dunk, right?
Kind of a very, elegant dunk.
You have to work on your adjectives when you describe their dunks. Nice move inside from Kenneth Booth. And the Cougars, they're not finished, huh?
I've been impressed here in the second half especially. Huntington really dominated the first half. In the second half, Capitals came out and continued to play with great intensity, but you can't stop that.
Well, you're going to give that up, you know, just to keep your guys going. And, Witten has been a guy who just has not quit. As you look at Bruce Sr., you mentioned the Ice Pack Brigade over there.
Well, that's the negative for Huntington thus far in this game would be seeing Bruce Sr. there with the ice pack on his head. Michael Taylor with one on his nose. They've had some bumps and bruises here.
Tyrone Gord over on the other side seems to be okay, and he took a shot. He and Michael Taylor collided. So 13 points now.
Gord fouled out of the game, and there are good foul outs and bad foul outs. Here's another turnover. Gordon was very aggressive, played with great intensity. I think Carl Clark can live with the way he fouled out of this game.
Mayo trying to dribble through all kinds of trouble, and he's called for the double dribble.
Well, we talked about spectacular turnovers. That was a spectacular turnover. Little Curly Neal, the old Globetrotters.
I mean, the guy, he's 6'4" and 6'4.5", and he goes down and is able to dribble like that.
Threw like 4 guys. I mean, he was really being attacked there. Fun to watch.
Cougars going to have to hurry and get something up quickly. Leonard with the 3 attempt. Patterson has it. And the big fella, as if to say, everybody calm down, takes control on the boards. Williams, a little floater inside. Jamal Williams.
He hasn't had to force anything really tonight. Jamal Williams has been able to play kind of a complimentary role here in this game and do what's asked of him.
Another 3-point attempt, no good.
One more dunk left here. Well,
there's a foul on Witten as Mayo goes by.
Mayo, I think, was about a half a step away from lobbing that one for Patterson.
It was either going to be a tomahawk or a lob into Patterson. And now Mayo will go to the free throw line. .23 points from Mayo on the night.
It doesn't seem like he's had 23.
It never does when whenever he scores, it's usually not quiet, but he just compiles the points. Missed them both. Look who's there. Savingos and then Patterson. Who wants to try it now? And Patterson gets the putback.
Well, they both had chances for the Tomahawk dunks, and Patterson settles for the tap in, and he'll take that. You know, you talk about Mayo. Mayo is a guy also. Look at the battle inside here. Mayo's a guy, like all the great competitors, who will be frustrated with every mistake he makes. I bet you those 2 missed free throws will frustrate him down the stretch.
26
He's a perfectionist.
Patterson. Yeah, and they'll work on that. Foul on Leonard as he goes in with just under 6 seconds to go, and then Patterson swatting that one away.
Well, neither team emptying the bench much here in the last 2 minutes. I thought they might, but they have continued to go head to head.
And you know, I say that's okay for both guys. You know, like we said, it's so much basketball to be played. One thing if this was a state championship game.
Yeah, it's hard for one to do it if the other's not doing it.
Yeah, right.
Because
right.
to give to Capital's credit, hey, they came back with about 3 minutes to go and cut the lead to 13.
13 points.
They weren't going to go away.
And that's, to me, that's the best thing that Carl Clark will take from this ball game is his kids just didn't quit.
Again, in any other year, they would be going into sectional, regional tournament play as possibly the team to beat, and they may be that next year.
You know, it's like these golfers who are golfing now. You say, sorry you had to grow up when Tiger Woods grew up and you're the same age. You know, sorry for the Cougars this year that they got to go up against a team with this talent, but their chance will come.
They're playing against a team that not only, is the heavy favorite to win a state championship, but it is as good a high school team in Huntington High as there is, nationally in the country. That doesn't happen in any state very often.
And O.J. Mayo checks out, and you know what's amazing about this Huntington High team? You see a lot of prep schools across the country, a lot of private schools that bring players in. These guys came from Huntington, West Virginia, grew up together. They're not imported. These guys are from Huntington. Leonard hits the first. He's played a good game, Charles Leonard.
Well, in many states, the dominant teams are private schools, which have the ability to provide great academics, but they also are able to bring in players from various areas. I was in Pennsylvania one year. Erie Prep won a state championship with no one on their roster from the state of Pennsylvania.
And the final score from the Charleston Civic Center. 79-64. The #1 ranked Highlanders win it over the Capital Cougars. We'll be back to the Charleston Civic Center after this.